Hello guys, what's up? So what are the things with you guys? So today we are going to take the chapter 2 of Polity, that is freedom. So let's start guys. The struggle for freedom represents the desire of people to be in control of their own lives and destinies and to have the opportunity to express themselves freely through their choices and activities. Okay, guys, if we got the freedom, we can choose our own choices and we can access the resources, opportunities like that. And so that the people must be in control of their own lives and destinies. And Nelson Mandela, who we know all about him, the freedom fighter in South Africa, and his autobiography is known as A Long Walk to Freedom. In this book, he talks about his personal struggle against the apartheid regime in South Africa, about the resistance of his people to the segregationist policies of the white regime, and also about the humiliations, hardships, police brutality suffered by the black people of South Africa. So we know there are some types of segregations are there, and white black discriminations, and a lot uh, non-white people struggled a lot against these types of humiliations, hardships, police brutalities, etc. For Mandela and his colleagues, it was the struggle against such unjust constraints and the struggle to remove obstacles to the freedom of all the people of South Africa. So, for Nelson Mandela and his followers, this struggle was against a type that unjust constraints. Okay, then he was in solitary confinement about 28 years in jail. So that for freedom, Nelson Mandela paid a very high personal price. And the next person is Aung San Suu Kyi. Her book is Freedom from Fear. Okay, in her book, she says that for me, real freedom is freedom from fear, and unless you can live free from fear, you cannot live a dignified human life. So, friends, let's focus that her saying, that is, for me real freedom is freedom from fear, and unless you can live from the fear, you cannot live a dignified human life. Then what is mean by freedom? Simply, it can be said that freedom is the absence of constraints, so that a individual not subject to external controls or coercion and is able to make independent decisions and act in an autonomous key. So if you all got freedom, we are able to make certain independent decisions, and we can act in an autonomous way. And through that freedom, we all can develop our own potentials, and freedom is considered valuable because it allows us to make choices and to exercise our own judgments. Then a term is here, Swaraj. This term Swaraj is comprises of mainly two words, that is self and rule. So self plus rule, it it is leads to Swaraj, the term. Okay, Swaraj means the both the rule of the self and rule over the self. Okay, Swaraj means the rule of the self and rule over the self. So we know about Bala Gangadhara Tilakan, a freedom fighter, and according to him, he is saying that Swaraj is my birthright, and I shall have it. And Swaraj is not just freedom, but liberation, redeeming one's self respect and self responsibilities, capabilities for self realization from institutions of dehumanization. So, certain type of dehumanizations by certain institutions are there in our society, so that through freedom there is a liberation in which we can redeem oneself, one's self-respect, self-responsibility, and all the capabilities. And also we know about a book called Hind Swaraj, and this book was published in 1909, and in this book it is saying about Swaraj. The meaning Swaraj is detailed, and if government is democratic one, the members of state could retain some control over their rulers. So we know about democratic government as well as non-democratic government. So if there is a democratic government, the members of the state who can retain some control over their rulers. When there is a monarchy type government, then all the members who cannot control the rulers itself. Okay, that is the difference. Then it's saying about Netaji Subash Chandra Bose on freedom. He says that according to him, by freedom I mean all round freedom, that is freedom for the individual as well as for society, freedom for the rich as well as for the poor, freedom for men as well as for women, and freedom for all individuals and freedom for all classes. Okay, so this is about the freedom concept of Subhash Chandra Bose. This freedom implies not only emancipation from political bondage but also equal distribution of wealth, abolition of caste barriers and social inequalities, and destruction of communalism and religious intolerance. So, according to him, he is saying that freedom is not only implies a type of emancipation from political bondage, but it can also equally distribute the wealth throughout the society or for all citizens in an equal manner, and this freedom can abolish all the caste barriers and social inequalities, and also we can distract all the communalism and religious intolerance which are existing still in our society. Then, and it is saying that we need some types of constraints over the freedom. If the people who are making their freedom in an unlimited or unregulated manner, this freedom can become a curse on society. So that there will be some types of constraints over that freedom. In the constitutional discussions in India, the term used for justifiable constraints is reasonable restrictions. The restrictions may be there, but they must be reasonable, that is, capable of being defended by reason, not excessive, since it would impinge on the general condition of freedom in society. We must not develop a habit of imposing restrictions, since such a habit is detrimental to freedom. So, here comes a term known as reasonable restriction. So I have said that there must be some types of constraints on the freedom. So, in our constitution, the term used for justifiable constraints is reasonable restrictions. Okay, and we must not develop a habit of imposing restrictions. So, we don't have to impose any types of restrictions on society or on the citizens. So if we do that, then that will become detrimental to freedom. Then it is saying about some types of liberty, that is negative liberty and positive liberty. That is according to this, there are mainly two dimensions of freedom are there. The first is freedom as the absence of external constraints. Okay, freedom as the absence of external constraints. Then the second type of freedom as the expansion of opportunities to express oneself. So in the political theory, these are mainly called as negative liberty and positive liberty. So let's discuss that in detail. So first we can go to the negative liberty. In the case of negative liberty, here the individual would be inviolable. Okay, inviolable, and an individual, he can do based on his own wish, and here there is no external authority can interfere him. And in negative liberty there is minimum area of non-interference, and it is concerned with explaining the idea of freedom from, and it is a choice that can be inferred with by state religious authority, like that. So friends, so we are discussing now about negative liberty. For example, a choice of what clothes to wear in different situations, like in school, in functions and parties, and in other public spaces, in private areas. So that is our choice. So that is an example for this negative liberty. So that in this type of liberty there is no one who can interfere with our own choices, so it is our choice. And next is positive liberty. That is, here first arises a question that who governs me? The answer is I govern myself. Okay, I govern myself. Here, here only fewer constraints are there to the development of individual personality, and here the individual is like a flower that blossoms when the soil is fertile and the sun is gentle and water is adequate and care is regular. So friends, in the case of positive liberty, an individual can be compared with a flower. So the flower that blossoms when the soil is fertile, sun is gentle, water is adequate. So that here only fewer constraints are there, and it is only based on the governance over myself. And then it's about the freedom of expressions. So in this portion, a famous person is known as John Stuart Mill. He is offering 4 reasons why there should be freedom of expression. So friends, I will explain uh, these 4 reasons by John Stuart Mill. So according to him, he is saying 4 reasons about the freedom of speech. So we know freedom of speech is type of freedom of expression. So the first reason is the truth is valuable. We ought to allow or enable people to arrive at true beliefs about the world. So according to John Stuart Mill, the first reason for him related with freedom of speech is the truth is valuable. We ought to allow or we ought to enable people to arrive at true beliefs about the world. And the second reason by him is the freedom of speech enables or allows the people to arrive at a clear and lively understanding of truth about the world. I will repeat, the freedom of speech enables the people or allows the people to arrive at a clear and lively understanding of truth about the world. Then third is, we ought to promote freedom of speech and prevent the silencing or censorship of expression. So we ought to promote freedom of speech and we have to prevent the silencing or censorship of expression. Then fourth is, if we censor an expression and if that expression is true, then the people are denied the opportunity to exchange the truth for the error. Okay. So friends, these are all the 4 reasons given by John Stuart Mill about the freedom of speech or freedom of expression. So friends, these are about my chapter freedom overview. So thank you guys, have a nice day.